Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bayou Time Sports. The NFL draft is over. It was extremely interesting. A lot of pageantry, a lot of showmanship, a lot of entertainment. But when it comes right down to it, it was 32 teams trying to get the best players on the collegiate level to play in their particular programs and thrive. And the Saints think they have some guys who are going to help them a whole lot. Let's take a look at those picks by the New Orleans Saints in the first round. It was Kelvin Banks, a big tackle from Texas, and I like the pick. You know, just on a personal level, I think that it all starts up front, and that guy can play. In the second round, a lot of people questioning this one. Tyler Shuck, a quarterback from Louisville. I got to tell you, folks, when you think of quarterbacks, consider the head coach of the Saints, the offensive coordinator, and the quarterback coach all play quarterback in NFL. So I think they know a little bit what they're talking about, but those are the first two picks for the New Orleans Saints. Obviously, Kelvin Banks went on Thursday night, and then Taylor Shuck was your guy who went on Friday. Moving on in the draft, let's go to round three. In round three, it was another guy from Texas that went, and that is Vernon Broughton. He is a big edge type rusher, defensive tackle. I think that he can pay dividends, obviously, for the Saints because you always need those guys up front. Then they went safety. Jonas Sanker was one of the thought to be better safeties in the draft. He is from the University of Virginia, a hard hitter back there. So again, he goes in the third round. Then two picks in the fourth round. In the fourth round, your first pick was a young man from Oklahoma who, talk about can stick you. That's Danny Stutzman. Danny Stutzman's got good size, very rangy, can move well, sort of your prototype guy who can call plays, do the things he has to do. And I think he's going to be a good one for the Saints, too. And then you start getting into those picks that you hope pan out. At cornerback, they picked up another kid from the University of Louisville, and that is Quincy Riley. Quincy Riley was the 131st pick, and he, again, is a cornerback in the draft that went to the Saints, and the Saints obviously needs a little bit of help in the defensive backfield. Moving on, there was no fifth-round pick for the Saints, so in the sixth round, they picked up a running back, Devin Neal. Devin Neal is the all-time leader in rushing at Kansas University, at the University of Kansas, I should say. A young man that when you watch him on tape, he is very impressive. I hope that things pan out for him. And then in the seventh round, the last round, you got a tight end. The tight end is from UCLA. That is Maliki Matavayo. And he, if you remember LSU playing UCLA a couple of years ago, he had a pretty good game in that one. And he's a tight end who's got the size and the range. Just depends on whether things work out. You never know when you get into these rounds exactly how people are going to work out. Final pick for the Saints, Fidel Diggs from Syracuse University. Fidel Diggs is a young man who also can run, and he's very athletic, and we hope that he can come through for the Saints this year, obviously. Just a little added side note. LSU added Will Campbell into that mix in the first round. He went number 4 in the draft to the New England Patriots, and it just sort of keeps that trend going of terrific draft choices from LSU in the first round who have gone on to star, and I think Will Campbell's going to do just that. As you see, Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow and Neighbors and Jamar Chase and all of these guys, you know, Jefferson. It's been really spectacular, the kind of talent that LSU has had lately, and we have another one that went in the first round. So a pretty good draft for the Saints. I know we do have a little footage of Kelvin Banks. There's your picks. If you want to see all of them cumulatively from Kelvin Banks out of Texas all the way down to Fidel Diggs out of Syracuse, a good edge rusher who runs extremely well. Back to Banks just a little bit because obviously he's a guy that we hope can play a little bit this year. A big guy, number 78 on your viewing screen right there. He's a guy who can run block well. He's a guy who can pass block well. And he was extremely excited. If you had the opportunity to watch the draft when he was picked, he's a guy who looks like there was a lot of emotion and a lot of thankfulness, which you certainly appreciate out of these kids who are being drafted. And he mentioned how much he wants to play in New Orleans and how much he wants to be a Saint. So I do think the Saints got a really good one. I think they got a good one in Taylor Shuck also. Again, big kid, 6'5" quarterback who can play. Played at the University of Louisville, but before that, he actually played in Oregon. He's played in a couple of places, folks. And what's kind of weird about it, he played with Justin Herbert, who is now, it seems like has been in the league forever, but they were actually teammates at one time. The young man is 25 years old this year, so he's obviously a mature guy. And again, when you consider that the head coach of the Saints was a quarterback in NFL, and then your two offensive guys, your quarterback coach and your offensive coordinator, are both guys who were quarterbacks in the NFL. I think they sort of know what they were looking for and what they were talking about. Of course, the controversy was do you get Shedeur Sanders along the way? And he dropped way down. So if other teams are not looking at him, I guess the Saints sort of feel like, you know what, we got the guy that we wanted, and I think they do. And that guy is Taylor Shuck. All in all, we're going to see how it all pans out. You never know until it actually happens. And those guys are going to come in for a mini camp, and we hope that they do well. We're going to be back with more Bayou Time right after this.
This segment was brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.